Hi guys. My name is Stacia Rucker, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the website Edia. Hi, I am going to teach you how to create an assignment. So when you log in, this is your homepage. All your assignments will be here. You can either view them in the calendar, or if you just scroll down, you can find a list of them. So if we wanted to create an assignment, you can just click on the day, or you can click on the little yellow button up at the top and click New Assignment. So in this new assignment, you name it, demo assignment 1. And I'm going to assign it to my demo class so we can see it on our new calendar. And then you're going to click Save Changes. Save Changes just allows you to save your changes. It doesn't autosave, so if you wanted to save it, you have to click Save Changes. And then to add questions, you just click this Add button over on the left. You can either write your own or write with a AI assistant. In this little search box over to the right, you can either search by area, so elementary, pre-algebra, algebra 1, algebra 2, geometry, pre-calculus, calculus, statistics, all of the good things. You can also find a question by typing in the state code, A1 dot. If you just type in A1 dot, all of the state codes come up, or at least the ones from Missouri do. And you can click on the specific standard, or if you just want to say, I want to do solving equations, you can just type in solving equations and it'll give you all the different types that fit into that category. So we have literal equations, one step, two step, three step, multi-step, right? So we're going to include a few of these. One step, if you can get one step, right? Let's do two step. And to add them, you either click on the box or that the question looks like it's in, or you can click the little add button and add it there. Once you added enough questions, you hit this little back arrow and then X, and then you are back into the assignment. To post it, you hit the little post up in the upper right hand corner, and that will post it to the class you assigned it to. Now, if it's connected to Google Classroom, you will be able to see a box right below here that says sync with Google Classroom, and you toggle that on, and the assignment will automatically post to Google Classroom. Also, all your scores will automatically post to Google Classroom, so there's minimal work for you as the teacher. So say we're like, oh, they didn't do as well in this assignment. If you look at the results tab, you can see their results. And it'll also provide you with a nice little bar graph. But you decide they didn't do so well, you need a better one. You can also duplicate an assignment, or you can duplicate it as an adaptive review. I want to show you what an adaptive review looks like, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it as an adaptive review. So on the surface, it looks the same. However, the only part that's different is this goal, and that is the part that is different for assignments versus adaptive reviews. Now, adaptive reviews basically just means if a student keeps getting the question wrong, it's going to keep giving them hints and tries at it. It's just going to change the numbers, the letters, the graphs, whatever. It also allows them to have on the side piece a step-by-step guide. So you could, it will generate a step-by-step guide. You can also play a video, or students can watch a video, and students can also skip this question, but eventually they will have to get back to get to proficiency, right? So students have as many tries as they want, and then you can physically look at the questions, what they're getting wrong, and it'll also tell you if they need a little help. So that's it for creating an assignment / adaptive review. Now I'm going to talk to you about the settings and anti-cheating features. So if we go back into the assignment we just created, you can see under settings, it has late work accepted until May 31st. Allow unlimited retries. So you can change that to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You can also change the time they have got to this. You can create a custom one or one of the pre-made ones. And as far as calculators go, it allows you to have the four functions, scientific or graphing calculated. They're all related back to Desmos graphing calculator, but it is the calculator that is used on the Missouri EOCs. So that's why they include it here. Under anti-cheating features, this is probably my favorite feature, you can have lockdown mode. It blocks students from switching tabs while they're in the middle of an assignment. This is a great way to give them tests. It will give you a little notification that says so-and-so has left the assignment this many times. And that being said, it will, every time the student goes to leave the tab, it will give them a little notification as well saying, hey, you're about to leave the tab. You're not supposed to, something along that line. And I will notify your teacher that you left the tab. It also has the capability of block photo math. Blocking photo math means the questions over here just changed. The content of the question did not change. However, it kind of in the background put various ones and eights as exponents, subscripts, all that stuff. That blocks photomath from actually reading what's on the screen, and your question becomes that blue part. We're going to turn that off because it is kind of hard to read it, but it is effective in blocking photomath, and my students have come to understand why I use it, but still do not like the fact that it blocks photomath. It also allows you to have unique questions for each student. You can turn this on or off. Off is just the gray toggle bar, and on is the yellow one. You can also hide results. Due dates, personally, some of my students have decided that they are going to submit it under another person's name and then go get that person's results and copy them down. So when you can't do unique questions, this is a great way to prevent that, because then you can say, I'm going to hide the dates to the end of the month, therefore this assignment should be done by then, and I should have all my scores by then. So that is a short summary of the anti-cheating features and settings. Let's talk about data, our favorite thing as teachers, right? So if you want to data on a specific assignment or adaptive review, you can click the results tab, and over here it will tell you what student, what's their grade so far, and once they submitted it, it will give you a percentage, when they started it and when they submitted it. This is great. It automatically refreshes if you click the little refresh tab in the upper right hand corner, and you can also download the results as a spreadsheet. That being said, so after a few assignments and you're really trying to figure out if they have the content, you can go over to standards, and in the standards tab, you will see all of the standards that you've tested so far, or what. So if I click on Algebra 1, these are all of my Algebra 1 standards, right? As you scroll down, you'll notice all of them are there. Some of them say we do not have enough data, which means there are not that many questions on it and there is limited data on it, or no data on it. You can notice some of my other tabs, mostly the priority standards, have a range of yellow, green, and red little dots. So each of those dots is a student, right? And if you click on it, you would get a lot more information on exactly who is who and which dot stands for which student. But to protect my students, I will not be clicking on that for you right now. So this gives you a synopsis and a summary of where your students are on that specific standard. If you click this little I button, it will also tell you what standard it is. So it will tell you some students are great at it. Those are the green ones. Some students will tell you that the yellow ones are basic, and the red ones are below basic. It will also tell you how many hours they spend on that specific standard, which on the Missouri EOC does not matter. However, is what it is. If you are requiring them to take a time test like the ACT. You can see how long they take on that type of question. So that's all for data. You can go to a specific student. If you were to go to any of, let's go to my demo classes, it will tell you how many assignments they completed out of the 3 I have currently listed. Obviously, this demo student 1 has not completed any of my assignments and hasn't spent any time. However, if you go over to the standards on that specific student, it will also give you the same kind of synopsis for one specific student, which is great to show parents, admin, their progress throughout the year. And lastly, frequently asked questions. Can I change the assignment after I've posted it? So you can change it after you've posted it, just before a student has started that assignment. So you can't go in like they've gotten started. You can't go in and change it after that. You can delete it and then create a new one, or duplicate it and then change it. Unfortunately, you cannot change it while they're still while they're working on it. Does Edia has pre-made questions for most math contents plus personal finance. They are expanding them. They are a relatively new website, so they are still expanding at the moment. And the last one, can I create my own questions? You can create your own questions. However, when you create your own questions, you can't use them in the adaptive review. You can only use them in an assignment. But if you click you want unique questions, that question will not be unique. Does that make sense? You can also have AI help in generating your own questions, which is super cool. And you can just give them the topic and then search through what types of questions they've created for it. Anyway, thank you for listening. I am so happy you guys joined me on this walk through Edia.